Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda
Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda.
Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda
Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda.
Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda
Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda.
Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda
Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya
Jaya Dvaita
Nityananda.
Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda
Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura
श्री
Bhakta
चैतन्य
Vrinda.
चरितामृत की जय। श्रील
Jai
कृष्णदास कविराज गोस्वामी की जय।
Jai
श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय।
Jai
समवेत गौर भक्त वृंद की जय।
Jai.
ओम अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपः कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम्। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगण ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंदा श्री अद्वैता गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Welcome to today's Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita reading. So we are reading from Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya Lila, chapter 4, Sri Madhavendra Puri's devotional service. So we saw how this Annakut ceremony was observed uh, on top of Govardhan by Madhavendra Puri, and so many villages. Day after day, each village started sponsoring this Annakut ceremony. So this Annakut went on for several days. Then we saw so many gifts were brought, gold, silver, clothes, and perfumes, and cows were donated, a temple was constructed, utensils, cooking pots were sponsored, a nice boundary wall was constructed for Gopal. All the local brahmanas were initiated by Madhavendra Puri, so he was engaging them in this Annakut festival. Then one fine day, two brahmanas in the renounced order came from Bengal. They were visiting. Madhavendra Puri liked them so much that he kept them back, entrusted the service of Gopal to these two brahmanas. In this way, for 2 years, the service of Gopal was going on very nicely. And then one day, Madhavendra Puri gets a dream. That's what we're going to read now. What was that dream? Text 106. So in the dream, Gopal appeared once again. So we saw in the past, Gopal had actually personally appeared in front of Madhavendra Puri as a small boy, giving him milk. Then he came to him in a dream, yes, that night, telling him where he is and how Madhavendra Puri should actually, you know, take him out of those bushes. And now again, Gopal is coming in a dream to Madhavendra Puri. So what is Gopal saying to Madhavendra Puri? गोपाल को हे पूरी हमारा ताप नहीं जाए मलयज चंदन लेप तबे से जुड़ाए. Gopal said, "Oh Madhavendra Puri, staying on top of that hill in those bushes through summer and winds in scorching heat, I'm feeling so hot. Even though you bathed me with so many pots of water from Govind Kund, you applied sandalwood paste and whatever else they did, right? Still, well, they didn't mention anything about sandalwood paste, did they? We just saw that they brought lots of water. Yeah, they said perfumed oil. That's true. They massaged him with perfumed oil, and then they put ghee in water and they bathed him. But in the dream, Gopal is saying, in spite of all this bathing, the heat of my body has not gone yet. Puri amara tap nahi jaye. This heat that I'm feeling, it's not going away. Malayaja chandana lepa tabe se judaye. So how will this heat be cooled down? When you get me Malayaja. Malayaja means Malayan sandalwood, right? So if you get from Malaysia, right, the sandalwood of Malaysia, and with uh, Malaya Jacha means sandalwood tree. Malaya, right? The sandalwood that is produced in Malaya is Malayaja Chandan. So uh, you must have heard this. Just a side point. Srila Prabhupada says that uh, it is not that sandalwood is produced only in Malaysia, or it is not that sandalwood can be produced only in Malaysia. Somehow, sandalwood appears in large quantities in Malaysia. It can be produced in other places also. But because sandalwood appears desired or is arranged that sandalwood will be appearing in large quantities in Malaysia, so the sandalwood itself is now known as Malayan sandalwood. But sandalwood can be produced in other places also. It doesn't mean that sandalwood is produced only in Malaysia. But because it's produced in large quantities there, now the place became famous as a place of sandalwood, but also sandalwood is known as Malayan, right? That wood which is produced in Malaysia. And this analogy is given to Lord Krishna. Lord Krishna appeared in Yadu dynasty. And it's not that Krishna belonged to the Yadu dynasty, like he's the property of the Yadu dynasty. Just like sandalwood is not the property of Malaysia only. So it's not that Krishna is the property of the Yadu dynasty. But Krishna, out of his causeless mercy, he appeared in Yadu dynasty because he was pleased with King Yadu. So he wanted to increase the glory of Yadu. So he appeared in Yadu dynasty and he became known as Yadava, a descendant of Yadu, Yadava, like that. This is Krishna's mercy and his free will that he appeared. But because Krishna appeared there, now Krishna is known by the name of that dynasty. Krishna is known as, like the king of Yadu Vamsha, or you call him Yadava, right? Actually, Krishna doesn't belong to anyone. But out of his free will, he appears in Yadu dynasty and he even accepts their name. Like that, sandalwood is called Malayan tree. As soon as you say Malayan wood, immediately you understand it is sandalwood, like that. So, anyway, here Gopal is telling Madhavendra Puri that Malayaja Chandan Lepa, so the paste of this sandalwood, when you apply it on my body, because sandalwood has this property of cooling down. We were reading last night the Transcendental Diary of Harishauri Prabhu. So in that, Harishauri Prabhu massages up. He gives massage to Srila Prabhupada. So Srila Prabhupada's head was massaged with sandalwood oil, and the rest of the body was massaged with mustard oil. Why sandalwood oil on the head? Because it cools down the brain, right? So sandalwood oil is used on the head and face, like that. And then the rest of the body is massaged with mustard oil. So Gopal is saying that this heat is not going away. I will only when you apply sandalwood paste on my body will this heat be cooled down. Translation. In his dream, Madhavendra Puri saw Gopal, who said, "My bodily temperature still has not decreased. Please bring sandalwood from the Malaya province and smear the pulp over my body to cool me." Purport. The deity of Gopal had been buried within the jungle for many years. And although he was installed and was offered thousands of pots of water, he still felt very hot. He therefore asked Madhavendra Puri to bring sandalwood from the Malaya province. Sandalwood produced in Malaya is very popular. That province is situated on the western Ghat, and the hill Nilagiri is sometimes known as Malaya Hill. Okay? So this Malaya province is situated on the western side, western Ghat, and it is the hill, Nilagiri Hill is sometimes called Malaya Hill. The word Malayaja is used to indicate the sandalwood produced in Malaya province. Malayaja, sandalwood produced in Malaya province. Ja means Janma, that which is born. So that which is born in Malaya. So even if you don't say sandalwood, if you simply say Malayaja, then people understand. Malayaja means that which is born in Malaya means sandalwood. The word Malayaja is used to indicate the sandalwood produced in Malaya province. Sometimes the word Malaya refers to the modern country of Malaysia. Formerly, this country also produced some sandalwood, but now they have found it profitable to produce rubber trees. Although the Vedic culture was once prevalent in Malaysia, now all the inhabitants are Muslims. The Vedic culture is now lost in Malaysia, Java, and Indonesia. Yeah, actually, just a couple of days ago, my son was telling me that in Indonesia, the people, they all, their habits, their culture, everything is very similar to the Indians. Uh, he has some, some people there. So he was saying how they rise in the morning. But Srila Prabhupada said, yes, they are uh, Muslims now, mainly. But still, they rise at 4 in the morning and they offer prayers, you know. And in one Bhagavatam class, I heard, like, we have a nice devotee community in Indonesia, like a Daiva Varnashram community. I mean, it's been there for decades now. It's not a new community. So it was inspired by His Holiness Bhakti Raghav Maharaj. Some college students that he preached to in Indonesia, they became inspired by this Varnashram concept, and they actually, the college students, Maharaj married them, right, boys and girls, and they all moved to this community. Is completely self-sufficient, completely. There's no electricity, and they have everything completely self-sufficient. They're not dependent on the world outside, completely self-sufficient. And it's not just an experiment and just new. Those devotees that had uh, started the community, they've been living there, and now they've had their children, and their children are in their 20s now. They are grown up, and they're all living in that community. This is in Indonesia. So once, actually last year in Srimad Bhagavatam class during Gaur Purnima, one Prabhuji visiting from Malaysia, he said that, or he was preaching in Malaysia. So he said in Malaysia, 100%, the people are 100% uh, theistic, like they're not atheists. You won't find even one person who does not believe in God. You won't find even one person who is atheist. Yes, there are Muslims and there are Christians and there are Hindus, but everyone has some faith, some religion that they follow, and they follow it strictly. So he was saying that's the. Uh, so here Srila Prabhupada is saying that in Malaysia, Java, and Indonesia, these are all nearby. So in Malaysia, Java, and in Indonesia, at one point, actually all over the planet Earth, it was Vedic culture, isn't it? At one point, even up to Maharaj Parikshit's time, he was the emperor for the whole planet. So the whole planet was under Vedic culture. But now, by the influence of Kali Yuga, Vedic culture is lost there in several places. Just some remnants you see in India. Otherwise, most of the, but again by the efforts of Srila Prabhupada, once again that Vedic culture can be, and Srila Prabhupada and his followers, that Vedic culture is becoming, or we are hopeful that it will be once again seen all over the planet. So the word Malaya.
I know.
So we
I know
uh,
uh, mm, one person. She comes for the parikrama. She's from Indonesia, Bali. She comes for
yes,
the last 20 years. 15 times she came. Every
wow,
year she would come for parikrama. So I met her
wow,
in parikrama during parikrama. Last year also I met her. So it was amazing. Last year she
yeah,
brought a lot of four other people. They are all ISKCON disciples, and they enjoyed very much.
yeah,
Very nice, soft spoken, very sweet. They are very sweet.
yeah. That's what I heard also. Like, they are not like big scholars or anything, but
Hmm.
very simple hearted people.
Ha,
And they give their life to the spiritual master. Like, they like when you tell them something from scripture, they just accept it right away. They give their life to that. So it's very, they're very, very simple hearted people. And,
hmm,
like you can say they're like natural devotees.
hmm. Very
Yeah,
sweet.
yeah,
Mm,
very nice.
I was remembering that it's Indonesia. Yeah, it's Bali. So that's why
But,
I was thinking
yeah.
Bali. Yeah.
We have one devotee here in Mayapur. I mean, there may be others. I know one devotee is like prominent, and he would go around doing Harinam Sankirtan. Every day we used to have at 4 o'clock. They would go and do Harinam, not with the deities. He would just go alone singing, with taking a group of devotees, and they would do Harinam Sankirtan. So
All around the campus, right?
all around the campus, especially they started coming in the Grihastha area, not
Aha, I
inside.
know. I saw them. I saw
Yeah,
them. No,
yeah,
without DT, just they sing. Yeah, they just do chant. Yeah, I
yeah.
saw them several times.
So they would come
Okay,
every day and they would stop by in different devotees in, like they have their points where they stop and they stand there and do some kirtan and then move on and stop. So
ah,
the devotees living in that area in their homes, they come outside, maybe come down and chant with them, and then they go on. Some people continue with them, some people go back to
yeah.
their home. Especially during lockdown, it was such a relief because you're all locked up in the house, and at 4 o'clock they would come down. That was allowed during lockdown. That kirtan was allowed, and
Ah,
everyone would come down. And I remember that.
nice. Oh, during lockdown, that was nice.
Yes, it was really nice. So in his dream, Madhavendra Puri saw Gopal. So Gopal is saying, you apply only when you apply sandalwood from Malaya. Uh, that's when I will be cooled down. I'll see if I can read it. Yeah, a little bit more. मलयज आन जाना नीलाचल होइते अन्य होइते नहे तुमी चल हो त्वरिते मलयज आना, yeah, so you bring malayaja sandalwood, jana nilachala hoite, uh, so it's not that you have to order it from Malaysia or Malaya. You can bring it from Nilachal, Jagannath Puri. Anya hoite nahi, right? uh, you can get it from Nilachal. That Malaya sandalwood, you can get it from Jagannath Puri, not from others. Tumi chalo ho twarite. Now, in order to get it, you go quickly. You go quickly to Jagannath Puri, and there you can get this Malayan sandalwood, and you bring it. You go personally. Don't tell someone else to go and get it. I want you to go and get it personally, right? Uh, Bring sandalwood pulp from Jagannath Puri. Kindly go quickly, since no one else can do it fast. Malayaja Ana, Jana Nilachala Hoite, hmm, uh, Anya Hoite Nahi. It's not possible for anyone else to do this task. You know why? Because they had in Orissa, they had at that time, because Orissa was a different country, Bengal was a different country, like that. You had all these different provinces. So, if somebody had to enter the province of Orissa, they had to pay a lot of taxes. What to speak of if you are carrying things from Orissa outside of Orissa? They will make you pay taxes, heavy taxes, and on top of that, there were many dacoits that would attack, and the dacoits would come in the form of tax collectors, right? Or the tax collectors were actually dacoits. The king himself was a dacoit, and he would send his uh, tax collectors, and they would come and charge. They would arrest the people, and then they would just loot them, take everything like that. So bringing sandalwood from Orissa is not an easy task. No one else will be able to do that, right? They wouldn't have that wisdom, how to do that, how to bring it. Only you are capable of doing that. So you go and you bring this sandalwood. That's why Gopal is saying, Anya hoite nahi. It won't be possible for others. Bring sandalwood pulp from Jagannath Puri. Kindly go quickly. Tumi chalo ho tvarite. You go very quickly, right away. Since no one else can do it, you must. स्वप्न देखी पूरी गोसाईरा होइलो प्रेमावेश प्रभु आज्ञा पालिबारे केला पूर्व देशा. So Swapna Dekhi Puri Gosaira Hoilo Prema Vesha. So he went into like great ecstasy, seeing the dream. Oh, my Lord is asking me for something, right? So his love was, he was overwhelmed with love for Krishna, right? His deity, Gopal. Krishna is saying, um, bring something, bring sandalwood for me. I want you to do it. So when he woke up from the dream, he was so blissful, right? Prema Vesha. So there was like a surge, upsurge of love in his heart. Prabhu Agya Palibare, in order to carry out the order of the Lord, Gela Purva Deshe, he left right away towards the east, right? In the eastern direction, he started going. That means Bengal and then Orissa, like that. After having this dream, Madhavendra Puri Goswami became very glad due to ecstasy of love of Godhead. And in order to execute the command of the Lord, he started east toward Bengal. Sevara nirbandha loka korilo sthapana agya magi gauda deshe korilo gamana. Sevara nirbandha, right? There are services for Gopal, right? Every day from morning until night, there's deity worship. So he made arrangements for executing the daily routine of worship of the Lord. Loka Korilo Sthapana, like Sevara Nirbandha, whatever regulations are supposed to be observed in worshipping the deity. Loka Korilo Sthapana, he arranged for people, for devotees to carry out those services in a timely way, nicely. Agya Magi, Gauda Deshe Korila Gaman. And then he took permission from them and he set off towards Bengal. Sevana Nirbandha Loka Karilo Sthapana. Sthapana, right? Uh, he made arrangements and he asked for the permission. He left, or he took permission from Gopal and he left. Translation: before leaving, Madhavendra made all arrangements for regular deity worship and he engaged different people in various duties. Then, taking up the order of Gopal, he started for Bengal. Right? Agya Magi. Agya Magi means taking permission or taking the order. Magi means to beg, right? Magi. Agya Magi. So he took the order of Gopal, or he took permission from Gopal and he started
Magi,
for Bengal.
Magi means Magi means ask for. Yeah,
Ask.
yeah, big. Yeah, kind of big.
Yeah. Like Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, you know, take this Harinam by begging for it. So there that word Magi comes. So yeah, so he's asking for permission of Gopal. So now let me go, like that. Shantipura Aila Advaitacharya Ghare Purira Prema Dekhi Acharya Ananda Antare. This is very nice. Actually, it is very, very, it's very much in context. We have this Shantipur festival coming up. So this happens around Gaur Purnima only. I forget if it is before Gaur Purnima or after Gaur Purnima. But the Shantipur festival it takes place in the house of Advaita Acharya. So Advaita Acharya had two homes, one in Shantipur and one in Navadip, Mayapur. So uh, when he was in Shantipur, so Madhavendra Puri visited him, right? So we will read about that. So, and Advaita Acharya accepted Diksha from Madhavendra Puri. He became the disciple of Madhavendra Puri. And he would observe the appearance day, or actually the disappearance day. Yes. So Madhavendra Puri came and visited and went away. And when Madhavendra Puri disappeared, Advaita Acharya would observe the disappearance day of Madhavendra Puri with such great pomp, in such an opulent way. The details are given in uh, Chaitanya Bhagavat, we read some time ago. Like several rooms, his house is described, so many rooms, right? Each room is filled with one ingredient. Like in one room, you have bananas, in one room, you have, coconuts. Like on such a large scale, he observed this festival. And again, by coincidence, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, as a sannyasi, happened to visit Madhavendrapur, Advaita Acharya's house at this time once. This was the second time, not the very first time when he came after taking sannyas. Mahaprabhu again he came when he went to Ramkeli and he returned back. So then he visited Advaita Acharya's home, and at that time Advaita Acharya observed this festival, and Mahaprabhu was amazed with the festival. And he said, anyone who takes prasadam, Mahaprabhu said, anyone who honors prasadam, the food which is offered to Madhavendra Puri, right? So this festival is, you know, it's celebrated in honor of Madhavendra Puri. So anyone who gets remnants of this prasadam in Shantipur on that day, he will get love of Godhead. Anyone, it does not matter. So our ISKCON temple every year takes several bus loads of devotees with lots of prasadam, khichdi prasadam. Like literally, I don't know how many, 20,000, 30,000 people are fed. All the neighboring villages, they come, they just sit down and they go and serve them prasadam, khichdi prasadam, honoring Madhavendra Puri at the house of Advaita Acharya. So this is called the Shantipur festival, and everything is sponsored by the temple, right? They give you rides in the buses, they bring you back, they feed you there, and not just the devotees, everyone, all the villagers, especially that's the highlight. All the villagers come there from everywhere, and the local merchants also, like small, they come and they set up their small shops, sweetmeats and this and that. So it's like a mela there. So I went only once, I think, or maybe twice, I don't remember. But yeah, so and that
I
is
went
coming
one
up.
time. I went one
You went,
time. Yeah,
yeah.
it was Mataji. They don't carry it from ISKCON to Mayapur.
Cook
It's
there.
been cooked there. It's been cooked there. You
Wow.
cannot even imagine the how big the it was
Wow.
like a tank. They are cooking the kitchen. Several
Yeah.
tanks are side by side, and people, two, three people are cooking the just moving the kitchen in one tank. But
Wow.
it was amazing.
Huge.
Yeah.
Wow.
And there were maybe 5,000 people sitting at the in one shot, and they're
Eating.
having
Wow.
prasadam. Yeah.
It is something. Yeah. On a large scale. Yeah. I didn't know they actually cooked. Of course, it makes sense. Carrying so much from here would be.
No. They don't carry. They cook, and it was very difficult to get inside that tent to have prasadam. It was
Yeah.
such a big line. My God. Uh,
Yes. I remember that.
you will miss your bus. You'll miss your bus because you went in a bus, and then you have to come back by the bus. Otherwise you have to come by all by yourself. But
Yeah.
it's such a big line. So I met one Mataji. She was from England. So she goes every year. Every time she go to Mayapur, she goes there for Gaur Purnima. And then she guided me. She said, let's go, don't waste time. There is a big line." And
Yeah,
so we saw the line is enormously big, and we cannot come back. And the bus driver said that you must come back by 4:30. So
right.
4:30, it was impossible. It was like 2,000, 3,000 people were standing on the line.
My God.
Then she tricked. She said that entering in the tent, by the entrance of the tent, there was a security, and she somehow managed the
Got it.
security, and they let us go.
Yeah.
So we went in there.
Otherwise, it would not
Well,
have been possible.
no, we wouldn't have able to get that taste. So it was amazing, and you can serve also. And
Yes.
managed one bucket for me also.
Wow.
So
Yeah, that's
I
the
could
thing.
serve also.
Devotees, they honor prasad, but even more, they go there to serve everyone else
Yeah,
prasadam.
who can serve? Yeah.
Who can
There is
serve? Yeah.
cooking. People are standing in a big queue for cooking. And there is another lakik, big queue for serving. So so somehow for her mercy, I got chance. I didn't know anything. That was my first time. I didn't know anything. So it was really, really amazing.
Yeah.
Such a tent, yeah.
Yeah. I went when my youngest daughter was just born, like a small baby. I was not able to do much. I was there with the baby, but I remember, they set up a stage and they have these programs also.
Uh-huh. Yeah, yeah.
That's
Oh,
going on side by side. Yeah.
side by side. Yeah. Mela. It's a mela.
Yeah. This whole festival, now Kavichandra Maharaj, he heads up this festival every year actually.
Oh.
And he actually takes donations from everyone and then he sets it. And then there, everything is free. Once you go there, arrangement,
Hmm.
everything is free. But to do that, he collects the funds. Personally, he stands with his table and he's begging people, this is for Shantipur festival. Okay, you can give some donation. And after collecting it, he puts up this festival. Every year he does that.
Yeah.
So he's doing that now. So it's coming up. So I just saw this and I remembered when Madhavendra Puri arrived. So yeah, when Madhavendra Puri arrived at the house of Advaita Acharya in Shantipur, the Acharya became very pleased upon seeing the ecstatic love of Godhead manifest in Madhavendra Puri. So the rest we will read tomorrow. I mean, because I started a little late and also it was interesting, so I just went on and miss part of Mangalarti today, but it's okay. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much, dear devotees. Hare Krishna. So tomorrow and day after we will be reading Chaitanya Bhagavat, Saturday.